Okay, so
Okay.
so the last time we concluded chapter 5, Parak Hay, right? And we basically the main point of the chapter was to tell us that that right that each world has a world that's within it, right? And the world that's within it serves as like the soul of the world that's outside of it,
Yeah.
right? And therefore it controls the world that's outside of it. Then he told us, but really, in reality, the human being is the soul of all those worlds. It's the pneumius, it's the innermost part of all those worlds, and therefore it becomes like the soul to all of the other worlds that are outside of it. Right?
Microcosm.
Right. And then he said, so that was the main point of the chapter. And in the Haggadah, he said that he brought this idea that the Medrash says that each day of creation he created something, right? It created the first day heaven and the earth. Monday
Up,
was
down,
heaven, up,
up,
down,
down,
right? It
up,
went
down.
up, down, up, down.
Mhm.
And then the sixth day, the last creation, which was Adam, was he didn't know. The Medrash says that he didn't know how to do it. Should he create him from the Elyonim, from the heavens? Then he's going to be jealous if he creates them from the lower ones. There's going to be jealousy. So he created a bria creation that's both, right? Okay. And then they had a question. One second. But we look at the person. We think of him as a human being, as a physical creature, right? So how is he one and two? And so the human, we appreciate, we look at a human being as a physical creature who just happens to be that he breathed into him a soul, but he's a physical creature with a soul. And he said, no, that's not the case. That's not how you're supposed to look at it. Really, a human being is a spiritual creature with a physical component, right? So he's basically what he's saying is he's two. He's not the main part of the human being, or I don't know if you say the main, whatever it is. The point is we're equally, at least equally spiritual and physical. And so even though we look at ourselves as only being down here, in reality, no, we have, there's a rope. As he says, the Medrash compares it to a rope, that a human being is basically a rope. That this end is what we feel. We relate to the end that's down here, and that's only a small end of the rope. And then there's a whole giant rope that we control with every action that we do. And that's what the brings the last piece of the chapter brings the Nefesh, the Rav Chaim Vital, who says that's what it means V'yiha Odom leNefesh Chaya, when Hashem breathed the soul into the Odom, he became the Nefesh Chaya, the living soul. Living soul to what? Living soul to the universe. He became the living soul to this whole entire creation. The human being is the living soul of that creation. Now he's going to elaborate a little more exactly what that means. And he's going to say that it can't mean literally that we are the soul. The soul and the body are one unit, right? Everything we do, our eyes open, that's like, everything is with the soul, right? So to what extent is this idea that we are the soul? We have to understand to what extent, and that's what this chapter is going to be about. Okay, so let's see. Perek Vav. Okay, Amnam Adayin Ha'inyan Tzarich Be'ur. However, Adayin still Ha'inyan, the matter Tzarich Be'ur, requires explanation. Ki Huzal, for he is the Chronol Vrocha. This is he's referring to Rav Chaim Vital. Diber Bekotshoy Derech Katzora. He spoke in his holiness in the Derech Katzora, in a short way. Kedarko Bechokis Kotshoy, like his way in all of his holy writings, but in stories that deal with stories, with mystical teachings. Like he writes himself in his introduction, because that he reveals tefach umechasal paimam, but he conceals another 2,000 amas. Right, so it's just an expression that he's only revealing a little bit of the idea, and you have to for yourself figure out the rest. Right? It's we have to say that it's not exactly like he says there, that the person, the human being to the world is exactly the soul. Just like a soul, hanitan, that was given into the body, v'dovuk, and it's connected, it's glued besoich gufa odom, it's glued, it's part and parcel of the physical body. Asher eze dover nefesh oisa, that whatever thing that the nefesh, the soul, does, hu rak al yidei haguf, klei haguf, it can only accomplish that with the klei haguf, right? If my soul wants to pick this up, right, it needs my hand to pick this up. I can't pick it up without the use of my physical body, right? So, right, but however, at that very moment, as my soul decides that my hand should pick it up, my hand will be able to do that. So the zevale lo yitochen. It can't be that when we are saying that the Adam is the guf, is the neshama to the entire universe, it can't be to that extent that we can, no, we're the controlling unit of the directly controlling unit of the universe, right? Okay, so to what extent do we take it literally? To what extent do we take it symbolically? Okay, so but first let's get into this Hagah, right? And this is an interesting. Let me just first, I guess maybe I should just, it's a point of introduction, right? We discussed last time about these 4 levels of the soul, right? Really five levels of the soul, right? You remember that, right? Mm-hmm. So we talked about the nefesh, which was the lowest level of the soul. Then there is the ruach, the neshama, and then there are these 2 highest levels, which is chaya yechida. Yechida is like almost like one with God, and we can't even connect to such. So it's almost never even treated as a separate entity. The yechida part of the soul is not even considered like separate entities. Right? Maybe Chaya is still considered a separate entity, but not Yechida, right? But these, just to keep in mind, right? These 4 levels of the soul are also parallel to the 4 primary layers of creation, right? I don't know if you've heard about right? There's these 4 worlds, the 4 levels of creation that are primary levels of creation. There is this physical world, which is called the world of Asiya, right? The world of action, right? Then there is the world right above it, which is called the world of Yetzira, the world of formation. Yetzira, which is formation. The world on top of that is called the world of Bria, the world of creation, right? Then there is a world on top of that that's called the world of Atzilut, or Atzilus, which is, the word Atzilus is difficult to translate because it's not clear where it comes from, but Eitzel, the word Eitzel means to be near something, right? Mm-hmm. So Atzilut means like it's closeness, right? That's like closeness, right? You could say it in again, there are many ways to describe it, but let's say, in general, let's say I want to build a sculpture, right? So I'm going to have these 3 primary steps. These 4, right? So the first Atzil will be my idea, my plan to create the sculpture, mm-hmm. right? The next thing I would have to first, let's say I'm going to take this glina and I'm going to form it as just into this solid ball, which I'm going to later use to make a form. Then I'm going to give it a form, and then now that I have the form, I'm going to give it the decoration that it deserves, mm-hmm. right? These are the 4 steps of any creative process, which is parallel to this world. The world of Atzilut represents my plan, my whole idea that I want to create, okay? It's the thought process, right? In Bria is just my beginning of creation. It's my start of creation. That's why it's called Bria. Bria is called creation, where something from nothing. This is where I start the creative process. I bring something into existence, which I'm going to later mold into a particular form, right? That's my Bria. Bria is always something like a new creation, something new, right? Now that I have my raw material here, then there comes the word of Yetzira, which means formation, Yatzar, formation. I give it the form, the shape that I need. And finally, the world of Asiya, which is the world of action, always means the finishing touch. Always means when I add my last piece of the puzzle, right? Either the decoration or give it that final rub down, whatever it needs, the shine, whatever that extra thing, right? So these are always the 4 steps of creation. Similarly, that's why they represent the creation of the universe in a similar way. There's the Atzilut, which is the plan for the entire universe. Bria is the physical creation, just the initial creation of something from nothing. Yitzira, that's already a formation of the next level. Meaning that's why I give it form, different shape, different whatever it is. And then finally, Asiyah is this last finishing touches, right? And we live in obviously we live in the world of Asiyah. This is why action, right? All the Hasidim Sforim bring down that action is what's really important here, right? Not so much thought, but really,
It's the thought.
really what? It's not the thought. It's really the action is what
This is
occur.
why we have
Without meaning the thought can he's gonna dedicate later a lot of time to this, right? Let's say the action meaning the action is what the physical thing is, the fitilok, let's say, right? It's the that little fitilok, but right, without that fitila you can't have the fire, right? Later the thought brings the fire, and depending, I guess, more kavon, more thought, you can build the fire. But if you don't have that action, you get nothing. It doesn't start. You get nowhere. That's why, by the way, we paskin. It's machlokas in the Gemara. We paskin, right? If Gemara has machlokas of hirhu kedibur dami, if thought is like speech, right? For example, meaning this has halacha l'maaseh ramifications. If you're allowed to pray in your mind, can I pray like this? Or do I have to actually pronounce the word? So we paskin again. So machlokas in the Gemara, we paskin that you actually have to pronounce the words. Again, and in the Gemara there was somebody who holds no, that's not the case. And it's probably again it's a fundamental machlokas. It's not just okay, is it good? Is it like this or is it like this? It's a fundamental machlokas of what the nature of the world.
He has to say it loud
It
enough.
doesn't matter. You have
Сам
to.
себя хотя бы должен слышать.
Right.
The truth is, even if you can't hear yourself, ideally you're supposed to hear yourself. If you can't hear yourself, but as long as there was some movement of the lips, you're yoitzer, right? But that's what it is. But you have to like pronounce. It's very difficult for like a real Russian, интеллигентный человек, очень трудно ему понять такую идею, because в России это читать вслух это было просто like the worst crime, imaginable.
Right. Your proper reading was always quiet reading.
Quiet, right.
You read про себя.
Tashkent, Bukhara can't relate to this.
У нас потому что там шашлык, машлык, лепешка, салат, малак.
So right, so that's because we live in the world of action, right? So again, so the 4 souls that a person has correspond to the 4 layers of creation, and each layer of the soul technically resides in that layer of creation, right? And therefore, it's also symbolically so parallel to each of those layers. Like you said, thought is more parallel to the world of Bria, to the world of creation. Speech is more parallel to the world of Asiya, and physical action is more parallel to the world of Asiya, here, physical action, right? We also see a similar thing, by the way, in the bracha of Elakai Neshama, right? Mm-hmm. We say the same thing. What do we say? How does it go? Elakai Neshama, right? Elakai Neshama, right? The soul, right? Elakai, my God, Neshama shen asata bi, that you gave me, to Hoirahi, it is holy, right? How does it continue? Ata barasa, you created it. I'm sorry, ata yatzarta, you formed it, and ata nafachta bi, and then you breathed it into me, right? So again, these are the 4 levels, and the first level is tahirahi, it's pure, because in that level, that soul, when that level in the world of Atzilut, and right, that level of Chaya, it's connected to God, it's completely, that level cannot be in any way, that cannot be in any way dirtied up, sullied by our action here. That level is so close to Hashem, there's no way that any of our Averis touch that level of our soul. That's why Kores is Nabarot. Kores is not necessarily even a punishment. It says, here, your soul is cut off because your actions can no longer penetrate higher than this. right? And you cannot sully this level of the soul, right? So the first says the soul that you gave me to Hayrehi, it's pure. That's the first level. Ata barasa, you've created it. That's the world of Bria, right? So the first world would be parallel the world of Atzilut, right? That Ata barasa, you've created it. Ata yatzarta, you formed it. And then Ata nafachta bi, and you breathed it into me, meaning my physical body. That's in the world of Asiya, right? So when we are waking up, we're thanking Hashem for that whole.
So bottom line, the soul comes out from all the way up top to this world, passing this 4 layers.
No, not passing. It's located in all of those layers. It's not passing. It's not passing. It's located still.
Yeah, because
still
it depends
in
on
all those layers.
which traits you died with. So, for instance, when you come back stingy, or if you left stingy, you come back angry. If you come back angry,
that I think is something else. Actually, I'm not sure if that necessarily is the same idea.
But he sends the souls in here.
But that's again. But the point is that we are all connected through all of those layers. Within those layers, we could have, that's what the midas are already within, those layers. But we are all in all of those layers. Okay, so all right, so let's continue. Fine. Now, with that introduction in mind, let's continue. Right. So Hagor. Right. So I'm in that note. Okay. V'gam shelefi zeh yechuyev haya. Now, according to this, it would be obligated. Should be eis amiraseinu kedusha lemata. When we say the words of kedusha on the bottom, right? What do we say? We say kadosh, 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 right? That's the words of kedusha. Memela, therefore, be'oisay rega mamash, in that very moment, gamma malochim hoyu makdishim b'mora mitonu ke'echad, should be saying the prayers together with us. But however, v'razal omru perek gidanosha, and the rabbis say in Perek Gidanosha, Ein malachei hashoris omrim shiro lemalo. The malachei hashoris, the ministering angels, cannot say song on top. Ad sheyomeru Yisrael lemata, until the Jews say the shira on the bottom. Shene'amar, and they bring a pasuk from Iyov Baron Yachet Koichvi Boiker. Right, it says. I'm not sure exactly at Baron, but together the stars of the morning, right? V'hodar, and then later it says v'yariyu kol bnei Elohim, and they sing songs all the sons of gods over here, meaning the angels. So first it's talking about us down here. Koichei Boker is, I guess, symbolic for the stars of the morning, meaning the Jews, right? The Jews are like the stars. So first the Jews say the song, right? Baron over here, I understand now. The word Baron comes from the Rina, meaning the song, right? So first the Jews say the song, meaning Kedusha, and that's what the Chazal understand, and then the angels, the Bnei Elohim, right? Now we need to clarify. It seems like they will not begin at all lahagdish to say Kedusha liyotzrom to their formator. Ad asher yigmeru Yisrael shilush kedushosam lamata, until Jews complete their 3 kedushas on the bottom. V'chein sidru anshe knesset hagadol v'birkas kedushas Hashem, and so too this is exactly parallel to the nusach, to the language that the anshe knesset hagadol used in the brach of Ata Kodesh. How does it go? It goes Ata Kodesh, you are holy, right? V'shimcha Kodesh, and your name is holy. And afterwards, your holy ones every day praise you. Right? So it seems, right, we say Ata Kadosh, right? We say you are Kodesh, and then we say, and the holy ones, meaning the angels, they praise you after us. Hagam, now 1 second, he says, the Melishna da Zohar, but however, from the language of the Zohar, l'chayra mashma, okay. However, from the language of the Zohar, it seems Shamalochim Magdishim Kedushosam Itonu Yachad, that the Malachim, the angels, say their Kedusha together with us. kechada mamash, exactly at the same moment. Okay, so we have two things. We have the Gemara in Chulin that says that the Malachim cannot begin to say kedusha until we say our kedusha. Okay, we have to finish our kedusha until they start. The Zohar seems to be saying that no, it's in unison. It's in unison. First of all, just again, there's the idea. The fact is, whether it's in unison or they have to wait for us, whatever it is, meaning. But the bottom line is that we're our kedusha is a serious.
They don't say
is a serious thing. Whether they say it with us or after us, the bottom line is what?
Not before.
English
They're not
version
saying
is
before
so,
us, right?
This is like Cliff Notes.
Right. No, for sure. No, this they don't even have this in the English version, right? So hainu mishum shekudushosim tkufa mamash tekev achar siyum miriseinu. So right. So hainu mishum shebekdushosim tkufa mamash tekev achar siyum miriseinu kechada korilo. So he's saying so that is because since it is so instantaneous that it is so instantaneous that it seems like they're saying it together. So really, what the Nefesh HaChaim is saying is that indeed in that sense, this is right. That the Malachim cannot say kedusha until we complete our kedusha. Okay, because like they're powerless without us initiating the song, the praise of kedusha. The malachim cannot do it. So he's saying that even though in the Zohar it seems like they're saying it together, he's saying because it's so instantaneous, it seems like it's together. But really, for that split moment, we have to come first. Okay.
The idea why we have to come first is because we have.
Because
tests.
we are the soul of the world.
Yeah, and also we are not.
No, that's a different. It's a related idea, but it's not the same. He's saying right now the point, the message is that we control the entire creation. We can control the entire creation, and so the malachim cannot say kedusha until we say kedusha. So we have to start them off. We are that beginning. They elaborate on once we give that energy, once we turn the key, okay, so then there's a whole symphony and orchestra that the malachim
because they work for us. We don't work for them.
Right.
They work for us.
Well, it's a machlekas. He's going to get back to this machlekas later also. Okay. Anyway, so good. Very good. So aval ikrei shel dover. What time is it? I think started 11:15. Okay. Aval ikrei shel dover. However, the main idea of this thing is ki hu yizborach shmoi. For he, the blessed be he, meaning Hashem, achar shebora kol olam, after he created all of the worlds, bora es ha'adam, he created the man, achar l'maaseh bereshis, later than all of creation, right? In the end of all the creation. So after everything and after the creation of all of the worlds, that's when the man comes into being. So Bria Nifloa, this amazing, this wondrous creation, he is the power that collects all of the camps. Right, this is an expression, by the way. This Me'asef Kol HaMachanos, it's a borrowed term. You know, the Torah uses it for the tribe of Dan. Okay, right? If you remember the Torah in Parshas Bamidbar, describes all of the travelings of the Jewish nation, right? So it describes the golem, the flags, the three camps, right? The flag bearers, right? So the Torah says, and the last one going is the Machane Bnei Dan, is the camp Bnei Dan, camp of the sons of Dan. Me'asef lechol ha'machanos. They are the gatherers of all the camps. That's what they're called. The meaning the last ones to pick up all the stragglers along. Okay, so me'asef lechol ha'machanos is the idea that when we are the final creation, we are the me'asef, the aggregate of all the camps. Shekol boy kol tzachzechois oiros, in this wondrous creation is included all of these massive lights, these bright lights, haniflois that are wondrous, va'oilomos and the worlds, ve'echolin and the halls, ha'elyonim, the lofty ones, shekodmuloi, that preceded him. V'chol tavnis hakovad ha'elyon, in the entire structure of the elevated honor, beseder pirkei merkava, again these words that don't really mean much to us, but basically, right, all the different parts of this entire spiritual creation. V'chol ha'koichos protzim hanimtzoyim b'chol ha'elomis l'yonim v'tachtonim, and all of these forces and details that exist in all of the loftier worlds above and below, kulam nosno koyach v'chelik me'atzmum, all of them had to give up a certain part from themselves and to give to the human being. Right? All of them had to take a part and give to the human being.
Bako.
What?
Bako.
Kulam notnu koyach. All of them gave a power, v'chelik, and a part, me'atzmutom, from themselves, b'vinyono, in his creation. V'nichlu luboy b'misper protik v'choysav shaboy. And so it is included in him all of their little particles. All of the little particles. My finger here is parallel to some part of creation. My pinky little nail over here is parallel to the other. My eyesight is parallel to something else. My sense of, hearing is parallel to something else. Everything in me is parallel to something else in the entire creation. Okay? And now he's gonna, as usual, he's gonna bring textual proofs for this idea. This is, we see, for example, in Zohar, in Parshas Yisro, Kutchabrichu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu kadboro lei levarnash, when he created Barnash. Barnash is another word for man. Bar means son, Nash means man, so it's really son of man. But anyways, kadboro lei levarnash, when he created man, Sider bei kol diyuknin derozin eloya, he arranged in him all of the diyuknin, the pictures, the rozin eloyin of the lofty secrets, the alma de le'elo, of the worlds that are above, b'chol diyuknin the rozin tatoyin, all of the lofty secrets of the worlds below, the alma de l'sata, from the world that's below. V'kulo mischakaka b'varnash, and they're all, mischakaka means they are all carved into man, the hiu koyim b'tzelem elakim, because he stands in the image of God. The ksiv, as it is written, va'ivra elakim es odem b'talmoi, and Hashem created the man in his image. Okay? All right, let me I'm just going to skip a few of these, if I do. Okay, so in the next paragraph, he brings a list of different other places. Just literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 different places where this idea is expressed. Okay, so we're not going to go into that. Okay, it's a little too much. Right, and he brings that from the Medrash, from this, from here, that every, right, okay, that we'll take his word for it. Okay, we presume that he did his research, and we take his word for it, that every single part of creation has, we have a part of every single chelik, of every single element of creation. Okay, so we'll continue with the next paragraph. V'zeh kol ha'adam. And so this is all of men. V'zeh kol ha'adam, this is all of men. Shekol koyach protzi shebo, that every disparate, every separate koyach power within him, mesuder neged oilam, is arranged parallel to some world. The koyach echad protzi mesoida shir koima, from some power, from the secret of the shir koima, of the shir koima, again, is this secret of, I don't know how to say it, but the stature, the world's stature. Sheklal kol hakoyches v'alomes shemusudorim kavyochel ketavnis koimas ha'odam which again, I mean, we mentioned this idea before. That again, this is the same idea of the microcosm, except over here, it has an extra dimension to it. That instead of just before we discussed the macrocosm as an idea, like okay, there is the world, which is the macrocosm. There is the human being, which is the microcosm, and they're symbolically connected, right? And over here, he's bringing a new dimension to it, where they're not just symbolically connected. There's actual a donation, so to speak. There's a direct link from each of the elements were directly given to. You have it. Right here. So this is we are right here. We just did this paragraph. Now, let me see. So I skipped this, right? And so we did this, but I skipped all of this, and I got back, and I just read this.
Okay, okay.
But basically, so now we're gonna go. Now that over here, there's a lengthy hago. Before the words v'chein kol hamitzvos kulon, there is a lengthy hago, which we're gonna start today, and we're gonna finish next time.
Before those words.
Before the words v'chein, v'chein.
זה שתיקנו נוסח вот это, רохас, митсус.
Here, it's over here. But now we're gonna, before starting this paragraph over here, there is a lengthy hago that he doesn't bring down altogether. Right. So now the hago is gonna explain. Right. So again, this is the idea that this human being is the microcosm of creation, but not only that, every part of creation has a piece in him, has donated a part to this creation. Okay? Now, but then he qualifies this a little bit. However, this you have to keep in mind that this was before the sin. Right? This was before the sin. You have it?
We're in Hago right now.
Hago, yeah. The bottom. You have it? Unless by you it appears earlier. Yeah. By you it appears for some reason over here. I don't know why.
Thank you.
Okay. This was before the sin. In what way? Because at that point, what was donated to him was only from the holy elements of creation. He was only composed of the holy elements of creation. But he did not have in him, right, the evil aspects of creation did not donate any particular part to him, right? Right? However, after the sin, Nichlalu, right, once he ingested, he ate from the Eitz Hadas, so he took the evil into himself. So he changed not only himself, that's what he's about to add. He didn't only change himself, he changed the entire creation, because this creature man